We've been locked down for 2 hours and I just broke free. Hello and welcome to what feels like the first work week vlog in forever. I guess it's not really, like there have been ones coming recently, but I just feel like with the beginning of the new year, this is the first official vlog of the year. And it's Monday and I just got done with work, and this morning I woke up at 5 a.m. to go drop my sister and her husband off at the airport because Zach and I were away at a wedding this weekend. It was for my cousins in North Carolina, and so we had a nice drive there on Friday and got to spend the whole weekend with family and doing the wedding and all of that, and then come back on Sunday. We got back yesterday and I feel like I haven't had the chance to recover and recuperate and get life going again, but I spent 8 hours at work today. It was a full day, and all of the 8 hours I was working, doing work. What that looks like, hi, I'm a social worker in a youth detention center. What that looked like for me today was this morning I got in, I sat down, I kind of got caught up because I had the weekend off to see, you know, if there was any new people coming in, what went on over the weekend, anything like that. So I spent time like going through my email, cleaning out the inbox, checking like our alerts and task report and seeing what's going on there. And once I kind of got a lay of the land, I realized that I would have 2 individual counseling sessions that I needed to do today and 1 assessment that I needed to do today, and it was due today as well. So it was kind of not a time crunch because I got it done with spare time, but it had to be done today. And so then I did, what order did I do them in? Basically, I saw clients for 3 hours straight today, which is pretty exhausting, not gonna lie. I don't know how therapists who see a lot of clients in a day, I really don't know how they do it, because after 3 today, I was drained. But I saw 1 for an individual counseling session, and then I did the assessment, and then I saw the other for the individual counseling session. And then today was my rounds day, so I walked all around the entire building, saw everybody, and then I spent probably, it was like an hour just kind of catching up on paperwork from doing the rounds and seeing the kids that I needed to see, just like changing some safety protocols and things like that. And there was a lot of changes to be made today, which is why it took so long to do the paperwork. And then I called the parent for the assessment because we always get collateral information since we're working with children. And then I typed all of that up, and then I consulted with our psychologist, and I was able to enter that assessment with time to spare. And then I typed up my individual counseling notes and got those done, and then it was time to go. So I like barely even took a second to breathe, but I don't have anything from today that's traveling into tomorrow, which feels pretty good. I do work tomorrow just for half of the day, and then Wednesday's off, and then I work Thursday and Friday, so that's kind of how the week's go. And there's a lot of things that I need to do this week, and so my goal is for this to last Monday through Friday. And that might mean that it's been a long time since a video's been posted whenever this video gets posted, because the last time I posted a video was Wednesday, and so if I'm vlogging until Friday, there is not a single chance that this video will be up before then. So we're settling into our routine, but if it's been a second, my apologies. Hope you missed me a little bit. Got excited when you saw this video in your subscription feed. I'll catch up with you next time I'm doing anything of interest, but I'm so glad you're here. So glad we're here vlogging together.
Let's take a sip from the cup of chance. We're both so young, and baby, we've got time to face our fears, make our dreams come true. We both know what we want and what we've got to do. I don't know where the road will go, but baby, we can find out. If you trust me, you will know. It'll all unfold. I don't know where the road will go, but baby, we can find it. We can find that pot of gold. Find that pot of gold. Find that pot of gold. People talk, oh people talk.
I'm spending my weekly day off today back in a coffee shop because I love being productive there, and also I didn't get to go last week and I really missed it. I feel like this has been my kind of self-care lately, is that it's a whole different vibe whenever I have like YouTube work that I need to do and I'm just sitting on my couch for the entire day versus going into a cute little coffee shop, getting like a cute little, I haven't decided what I want to get today, some sort of coffee, a cute little some sort of coffee, and being around all different people while getting my work done. So on the to-do list today, I need to plan a lot of content because we kind of talked about in the beginning of this video. This year I feel like started without me, and I'm trying to I'm trying to like run to catch up with the crowd to start the year as well. And so I need to plan content and just kind of figure out like what I'm doing this year and like what the schedule is going to be and how to avoid having 10-day breaks between videos again, both for this channel and also for my booktube channel, since I am divvying myself up between two now. I also have a portion of an article that I need to write, like an introduction of an article that I need to write. It's a self-care one that I wrote a couple months ago at this point, but it's in the process of getting like edited and everything before actually getting posted on socialworkdegrees.org. And then I am writing another article for them this upcoming month, and so I think I want to just get started on that, just because after getting started on a paper is essentially what it is, it feels so much easier just like to continue, but I feel like it's that big speed hump to get over just to start it. So I do want to start it, but I also want to take some time to like read and chill, maybe even like watch videos and play Candy Crush, because I haven't really had that moment in the past week or so, just with the busy weekend and everything. I need to plan out my budget to make sure I'm not going to be going in the negatives. I'm kind of hoping to be here till lunchtime. I'm coming like right at opening, and I am planning on lasting until like noon, but that's honestly a really long time, so we'll see.
They don't like what we have got, oh, baby, you and me, but we don't care what the world will say. We will find our way, regardless of what they say. I don't know where the road will go, but baby, we can find out. If you trust me, you will know. It'll all unfold. I don't know where the road will go, but baby, we can find it. We can find that pot of gold. We can find that pot of gold.
I got some, but not all, of what I was planning and hoping to at the coffee shop done today, and I still have leftovers from the dinner that I made last night, which is very nice because that meant that I had an easy lunch to warm up. I do have another recipe planned for tonight. I've been back on my Me Lime grind. I'll show you in case anybody's new, but Me Lime is the app that I use to plan meals, and then it gets like a grocery list just going for you. And so last night was chicken and rice paella bake with bell pepper, asparagus, and artichoke, and then tonight will be cilantro lime chicken thighs with avocado and tomato salsa. So lots of chicken thigh happening around. But while I was at the coffee shop, I also finished this little trilogy of like middle grade, kind of between children's and middle grade graphic novels that are like cozy fantasy graphic novels that I had so been looking forward to reading. And most of my reading content, as you know, has now been moved over to my booktube channel, but I felt like the reason that I loved this trilogy so much has to do with some things that I've been talking about on this channel. So basically, it's these three books. The first one was the Tea Dragon Society. The second one was the Tea Dragon Festival, which both of those I enjoyed, but it didn't make me like almost cry. And the Tea Dragon Tapestry made me almost cry. I will take pictures of these pages and put them up too, to where you can see them. But it just is cozy fantasy, like low stakes. But one of the characters, her name is Minette, and she used to work at a monastery, and I don't even remember what happened. Something happened where now she basically lost all of her memory and is living in a new place, and so she's kind of just like getting her bearings with that. But she's talking to another character named Eric, who Eric used to be this like warrior fighter guy. They're such short books, so like you don't get too much context, but you get just enough that you need. But he was this warrior fighter guy, and he was injured, and now he is bound to a wheelchair. So she's kind of talking with him about like going in a way that you had never pictured yourself going, or like feeling so comfortable in what you were doing and who you are, and then a wrench being thrown in that. So he's talking about his journey through that, and he's telling her, you feel like you've lost your path. It's natural to be sad. It's all right to let those feelings wash over you and give them time to soak into the earth. That's when things start to grow again. Which, with my whole quarter life crisis that we're experiencing over here on channel collectively, I'm pulling you into it with me. It just felt like really pretty imagery. It's all right to let those feelings wash over you and give them time to soak into the earth. That's when things start to grow again. So that was one line. And then the next one, and none of this is a spoiler, I don't think, because it's like 70 pages long of a book, and it is not plot driven. But Minette finally talks to like this ancestor that she feels like is a connection to who she is and like her life that she's supposed to be leading. And she's talking about the fact that like I had thought that I would be at that monastery forever, and now there's just like a part of me that feels like I'm not who I'm meant to be anymore. And this ancestor says to her, "Little one, you are the person you are meant to be. The years you worked diligently at the monastery will always be a part of you, as will the years after when you felt lost and afraid. And so will all the years yet to come when the seeds you have been planting with your kindness and friendship will continue into bloom. Everything that happens is part of your wholeness, the sadness, the loss, the hurt, as well as the joy, the love, the friendship. It is all part of your tapestry. Remember that you are already whole." Which again just hit so hard with my whole like job crisis and like, what do I even want to do? Do I feel satisfied with what I'm doing in each of my days? You know, the stuff that I've all talked about before. I just felt like that was speaking to me in the way that no matter what comes up in the future, all of my journey and life up until this point, like the months that I've been spending in jail with my clients doing this job, are a part of my journey. And these days or weeks they're turning into months, maybe even, that I'm feeling like kind of lost and confused and unsatisfied and unsure of what the future will look like. That's a part of my wholeness as well. And so will be whatever comes in the future, because there will be something that comes in the future. And that is all part of me. So it's not like, oh, I'm turning away from who I was meant to be, or like, oh, I'm searching to find who I'm meant to be. It's no, like, this journey is all a part of me and I am whole no matter what. So who would have thought that a graphic novel meant for children would get me in my feels today? But it's like in my feels in a good way. I just keep having the imagery like the first quote had of just like letting the feelings roll off and go into the earth, because that's how things grow. Cheesy but necessary little moment, I feel like. And now we can move on with the day.
Find that pot of gold.
I just did a 60-minute Sydney Cummings workout. It was like an OG Sydney Cummings workout from 4 years ago. That was just like 60 minutes body weight hit. And it was just really what I was in the mood for. It was to like push myself and feel, you know, pink-cheeked and sweaty afterwards. Because, you know, like fitness is always something I'm trying to get better at, but I also feel like I'm kind of in a rut within, and so I feel really good having finished that and just like knowing that I can do it, because I think that always kind of gives a spurt of motivation like for future days coming up, knowing like, okay, I finished that hard 60-minute workout earlier this week, so I can do anything now. And something that's kind of new, and by that I mean I probably did it for the first time like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and probably did it for like 3 showers and then like stopped, but I've been oiling my hair before washing it. Let me grab it. I've been using this omelet oil because I saw good things about it. I honestly really do not like the way that it smells, so I probably won't be getting it again. I'll just find a different one. But honestly, the main reason I'm doing it, one, is for moisture. I don't know what kind of hair type I have, but I know that, I don't know, I feel like moisture just like is beneficial. And then 2, I've heard that it helps with regrowth and everything and the sides of my, can you see it? We're getting kind of thin over there. And I just like self-care things that make it feel like I'm putting in that little extra bit of effort for myself. So what I've been doing though is I'll put it in before going to work out, because then the oil sits in my hair for, you know, like an hour or so, however long it is, before then I get all sweaty and I come back and I wash it out in the shower. Not game changing, I didn't come up with it, but it has just been like a fun little thing for me. And I do think it's helping my hair too.
When it's good, but when it's bad, you take it out on me. You take it out on me. But I'll stand by you, baby. When your head is not a mess, you'll see.
There is a tornado watch, and I have been locked in jail. It is 5:30 right now, so an hour and a half past when I was supposed to go home. We've been locked down for 2 hours, and I just broke free, to be honest, what it feels like. I'm gonna drive home, cross fingers for the best. I think the worst of it's supposed to be over, but, you know, I feel like I'm in an adventure mood right now. It really was like, we were just all piled in the hallway with all the kids. They had their mats out, so they kind of put them over their heads, you know how you do at school. But I'm glad to be free, and we'll be hopefully making it home.
I hope that you will see.
Tell me why there's literally like no storm out here. We were really like hunkered down and they're like, you can't leave, you can't leave. And finally I was like, I'm leaving, and thinking I was going to have to be like white knuckling it on the road. And it literally, like, can you see? That's almost sun. There you go. That's basically sun. Oh, actually I see blue sky. Should I call jail and let them know we don't have to lock down anymore?
I don't know where the road will go, but baby, we can find out if you try. trust me, you will know. It'll all unfold. I don't know where the road will go, but baby, we can find it. We can find that pot of gold. We can find that pot of gold.
Okay, kind of loving this little setup right here. Wait. Yeah, there we go. This is really cute. Kind of like it. But I felt like I didn't have any time at home today after I got home, because getting off at like 5:20 and then the storm being literally gone, that was what was so crazy. Like, I know I just had the other clip, so I kind of just told you about it a little bit, but I was finishing up my work for the day. I was going to leave at 4 p.m. and then it was about 3:45 p.m. when people started coming around and being like, we're going into lockdown, shelter in place, there's a tornado like on its way right now, tornado warning until this time. And so I quickly finished up, sent Zach a little email, because in jail you don't have like access to phones or, you know, anything like that. I don't have a laptop. It's a little, you know, desktop computer. And so we go to the hallway that they say is like the most interior, and it's one of the hallways that the kids are on too. So like they get all the kids out of their room and they like bring their mattresses with them, I guess, as like the new and improved, you know, whenever you had to go like face down, booty up against the hallway at school. I guess when you just have like a portable mattress, you don't have to do that because your mattress can just protect the back of your neck. But they're like all sitting in the hallway. We're like sitting in the chairs quite close. And then the like crazy part is that no connection to the outside world. There were no windows around. Like, that's why we were in that particular place, is because there's like hardly any windows at all, hardly any glass. And so we were there for probably, it was like an hour and a half, just about, a little bit over an hour and a half. And to be fair, the storm did get bad for a while, and it actually touched down south of Atlanta in Griffin, Georgia. And I've seen just like a few pictures of the destruction and stuff that happened there. I don't know if there are updates about like people who were affected. So I know that the storm got bad, but the wild part was that we were probably locked down for an hour past when the storm had already passed through, and like nobody knew because there was like no connection. Like, people were keeping track of it, but they weren't like with us in our unit, locked down with us. You know what I mean? So in my head, I'm thinking like, we're about to emerge and the whole world's gonna be blown away. And it really was totally fine. But I did eventually, like, I left before lockdown was lifted, which is kind of hard to do because like doors have to be open for you and everything. So I felt like I was sneaking. Like, I wasn't actually doing anything wrong, but I did feel like I was like sneaking around. And then we get outside and it's like still pouring rain. So there was a moment when I was like, oh, I don't even know if I should drive home, like if the storm's still here, because my phone stays in my car. So I hadn't even like seen any updates yet. But then by the time I like get to my car and start driving, the rain is totally gone. There's like no more storm at all, no wind at all. The sun's coming out, as I showed you. And I'm just thinking about the fact that like we really were all hunkered down in there for what felt like the longest time, and it ended up being totally okay. But that's a new one for me. Check off the bucket list, I guess, is lockdown due to a tornado warning while in jail. I feel like at work lately I have been having a ridiculous amount of work to do, which is like, I say ridiculous in a I've been working type of way, not in a actual like unmanageable caseload type of way. I want to make that clear, you know, because some people actually have like unmanageable, unrealistic workloads. Mine has just been a lot more lately than it has been in the past. So it's still like on a manageable level for sure, and I still feel like all my clients are getting like, you know, the services that they deserve and all of that. But I used to have like 3 kids on my caseload, which is very small. Like, that's so small for a social worker. And right now I have 8, which gets to be higher, just like with the different like levels of support that I give and everything. And so most of my days now are spent either typing notes, planning sessions, conducting sessions, doing assessments. I don't know what else. There's so many other things too. Look, my hands, I just keep counting up. I don't remember right now what this vlog has included, but I do know that I feel like I'm getting more into the routine of vlogging again. December always just kind of like throws a big wrench. And then once the wrench wasn't being thrown anymore, once it was January, that's whenever like I traveled last weekend, which I can't believe was last weekend, but that just like threw a wrench in like my personal routine. And so I finally feel like the feet are back under me. I cleaned my room last night, if you can tell. I made enough dinner that I can just like heat stuff up today. I don't have to sit and make it, which is nice. I'm gonna sit and read for a little bit, you know, get further into my book. But all in all, I'm so glad you joined me for this video. There are quite a few new people that have been joining the channel. So if this is your first video that you've like connected with me kind of in real time, like when I posted it, hello, so glad you're here. And if this is your 140th video that you're seeing of mine, hello, so glad you're here too. Make sure you subscribe before you go, definitely. And hopefully the videos just keep on getting better and better from here in 2023. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next time.